Good morning. I am on my way. It's about 8:36 and I'm leaving to go to the Mayo Clinic. It's about a 4.5, 5 hour drive. So let's get this party started. Alright, so I am at a rest stop right now. I've been driving for about an hour and a half, and yeah, it's just a really nice day. It's like 68 and sunny. I'm going like north of Florida, so it's probably gonna be a little cooler, and I did not bring anything cool, so we'll see how that goes. Or anything warm, so we'll see how that goes, because yeah, I don't think I was 100% prepared. But anyway, I'm going to continue on my trek here. I'll try to vlog as much as possible. And my MRI is in about, let's see what time it is, like 6 hours. And yeah, I might check into the hotel first, and then I might just go straight to the MRI. We'll see what time I get there. So talk to you soon. Okay, so I made it to the hotel. Wow, this lighting is awkward. Yeah, I made it. I left at 8:30 this morning. Got here, it's like 2:15. My MRI is at like 4:15 p.m. It was about a 4.5 hour drive. Just having a little bit of anxiety because being here reminds me of the surgery and all that, and it brings up, anxiety, but also just actually having to go through the MRI because I have to get the contrast dye, and I just do not like that. But I don't want to make this vlog like complaining, but I just want you to see a glimpse into my life. I'm not really a pro vlogger or anything like that, and I probably won't do like a ton of vlogs, but I figured let's just try something different. And I figured I was going up here, and I've shared a little bit about my brain surgery in previous videos, so I figured let's just document it. So here's the itinerary. I get the MRI at 4:15 tonight. I'm going to come back here to the hotel and stay over, and then tomorrow morning I have a 6 a.m. blood test, and then I meet with the endocrinologist at 8:45 and the neurosurgeon at 9:45. And the reason they lump all the appointments together is so a lot of people travel from out of town to come to Mayo Clinic, so they try to put all your appointments somewhat close together, and usually the results come back really fast. So if I get the MRI tonight, it should be ready tomorrow when I see my neurosurgeon, so he can go over the results and tell me if the tumor is completely gone, if he got it all, which I don't know. I feel like scanxiety is a real thing, so I'm just hoping for the best, and I know I'll handle it. And yeah, there's no sense in like getting all worked up before I even go in for the MRI and talk to the doctor and everything. So I will bring you along. It just feels good. It feels like me talking to the camera. It's like having a friend here. So good morning. Wow, this lighting is really bad. I'm sorry. It is like 5 a.m. and I have a blood test at 6 a.m. but I like to get up and like get ready and brush my teeth and drink water before the blood test. So let's just get ready together before I go and get my blood test. Oh yeah, by the way, I did have my MRI last night. It went well. More on that later, but let's just get ready for the day. I've been using this brush called Surrey, and it's just like an electronic brush, but oh, okay. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna use my CL Tint and Protect, and this is SPF 50. I already put SPF on as well. I'm just putting more on for extra protection because I will be driving a lot today. And I usually put SPF on anyway every day, but especially if I'm driving, because the sun will still hit you, and I get melasma in these areas right here. So I'm just doing extra today, and I'm doing quite a bit actually. That was a lot. Like yesterday I didn't wear any makeup, and that was totally fine. Like sometimes I just don't, but I'm meeting with my doctors, the endocrinologist and the neurosurgeon, so I'm like, maybe I should just look a little presentable or like a little awake. I don't know, I just felt like I haven't seen them in a little while, and I just felt like giving a little effort to myself. But honestly, when I'm like traveling or I have doctor's appointments, I don't always put makeup on. Like, you know, my main concern is like the doctor visit. So, yeah. I'm a simple gal. Okay. A little bit of color corrector per usual, Bobbi Brown in Bisque. Get like a little mirror here. Oh, this lighting is horrendous. Horrendous. And I can probably adjust my settings on my camera, but it's honestly 5 a.m. and I'm not about to do that right now. So I'm sorry if the quality of this lighting right now is not great. Westman Atelier concealer. Let's see. Do a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna do L2 under my eyes. Let that sit there for a second. I'm gonna just do my brows real quick. I'm literally using the camera to do my makeup, and that's kind of tough. Use my mirror here. I don't really want to do a whole lot with my brows today, just spruce them up a little. I'm using my Benefit Clear Brow Setter. I don't have my contacts in, so I'm like looking at the mirror hoping it'll do something, but like it's not going to. I got like 6 hours of sleep, maybe 7. Not that much, guys, but that's okay. That's okay. We're pushing forward here. We're pushing forward. And I definitely need dry shampoo. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of mix all these together and go in, because your girl doesn't have time to mess around right now. I gotta get to my blood test soon and all that stuff. Is that better? I can kind of see what I'm doing. This is the hourglass. But I'm coming to life a little. I'm gonna finish up my makeup and then get going, because I gotta pack and get my blood test. Hey everyone, I am back from my trip. It's about 2 days later. When I got home, I went straight to sleep. Like, I took a shower, unpacked, and went to bed by like 7:30 p.m. The drive and the whole process of going up to Mayo Clinic, staying overnight, driving back home is just exhausting every time, and I've had to do it several times throughout the process. But I just wanted to close out the vlog here and talk about some of the results that I got from my blood test and the MRI. So I do have good news. The MRI showed that the tumor was gone. and that the cyst, I also had a cyst, the cyst is also gone. So next steps is I need to retest in a year, and then if I have a clean scan, every 2 years. So I'm excited about that. And then I got my blood work and everything was in range for hormones. The only thing that was kind of slightly low was my sodium, which I have been dealing with since surgery. I had hyponatremia after surgery and was hospitalized for 3 days. And I know I talked about this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but basically the range for sodium is 135 to 145. And when I was hospitalized, I was 120, which is critically low. And they said it was transient, which means that it happens once. So after pituitary surgery, what happens is your antidiuretic hormone gets released and it can cause your sodium to drop. That's why they have you liquid restrict. Mine was delayed and I was in that 1% of people that it happens to. So my doctor was like, I can imagine how that felt. She's like, I've heard it's like an awful feeling. So yeah, it is an awful feeling. So now I'm on like super cautious every time I feel that my sodium is low. I also have to get B12 shots because for some reason my B12 plummeted. So I have to get B12 shots. Nothing else works, like even the dissolvable tablets. So I'm not absorbing B12 correctly. I have to make sure I get extra vitamin D and I take calcium as well. But for my sodium, I take the Element electrolytes every day. I drink bone broth. I also have salt tablets that help me stay within normal sodium range. So when I saw that my sodium was in range, but it was 135 this time, I kind of panicked and I was like, that's the lowest it's been in a while. Usually it's about 138. Last time I checked, it was 142. So anyway, I know that it can fluctuate, but I got kind of scared and I also had like a headache that day and I could just feel that my sodium was kind of low. But I've also read, and I try not to Google too much or jump to conclusions, but that after you get the contrast dye in an MRI, that your sodium can drop. Also, SSRIs can cause mild hyponatremia, and I am on an SSRI right now. So yeah, I know I'm kind of dishing out a lot of information, but this is real life. This is what I'm going through, and I know that other people go through similar things, if not worse, and it's okay to talk about it. I mean, there's nothing to hide here. So I just wanted to be open and honest, but I don't want to come on here and just make my whole channel about this. But I do think it's a part of my life and it's something that I don't mind sharing. So yeah, now that the blood test and the MRI is good, I go back to my endocrinologist in 6 months. I see my primary care doctor regularly and the neurosurgeon in a year. What else? So yeah, I will just put like snippets here and there from my trip because I didn't really vlog inside of the building. I just didn't feel like comfortable doing that. But the Mayo Clinic campus is really big. It's really nice. I went to the Jacksonville one. There's one in Minneapolis, I believe, that's a little bit bigger. But nonetheless, it is a nice place to be if you're going to be going through this type of thing. And yeah, so a little bit about the MRI. I know that I didn't really talk about it that much because the last clip I was getting ready. So I'm not really typically claustrophobic, but for some reason when I go in those MRI machines, I just feel so anxious and I already have anxiety. So I've been reading this book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And so all I kept thinking in my head was feel the fear and do it anyway. And I just kept repeating that over and over and it really helped me get through it. They had to, I don't know if you can still see it, but they had to inject the contrast dye in my vein halfway through the MRI because they do with and without contrast. And this helps them just see closely because the pituitary gland is very small. So it just helps them see everything. But I do not like the dye. It just kind of makes me feel a little crappy for a couple days later. Let me know if you've had an MRI with contrast dye and how you felt or if it didn't affect you at all. Some people it affects and some people it doesn't. So it's just kind of hit or miss, I guess. Other than that, I'm just trying to take all my supplements. I'm trying to eat well. I'm trying to do moderate movement, not too much. I don't want to sweat out all my sodium. And just, you know, making sure that I keep my stress levels in check, making sure I'm getting enough sleep, all those good things. So I'm just really concentrating on that. And I know I had mentioned, I don't know if you saw, but I quit drinking alcohol as well, just because I'm on meds and I don't want to mix it. Also with the electrolytes, I don't want to throw that off. So it's just not the right timing for me to be drinking right now. I'm not opposed to it in the future. I love my wine. I love beer, but it's just not, you know, in the cards right now. And I am totally fine with that. I actually feel better and I don't really think about it that much. I never was really like a heavy drinker, but I did drink frequently. Like I'd have like a glass of wine and it kind of just was like a habit. But anyway, that's one thing. And then, yeah, I started Train Well, which is an app and it has like a virtual trainer. So I do very easy workouts, but they are low impact, but they're using a lot of body weight and then some weights. And then I try to go for walks. I do the bike, yoga, Pilates, things like that. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. I know that I didn't really make this vlog extremely eventful, but hopefully you got something out of it. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.